Today, from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Dwayne
Like and
Haskins
sub
and
and
the
hit the all
Washington football
notifications
team.
bell for more great content.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington football team and the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, everyone, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, and he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses them about 4 yards. They were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. That'll be caught. It's Steven Sims. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
A 3-yard.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Now Haskins to throw it. On the screen, this is Coleman. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Here's Haskins out of the gun. Open man here, Sims complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
On the draw play, Coleman. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Third down, here's Haskins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Marcus Joyner with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down.
No gain.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play covering?
Well, he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
First on the tackle. A pickup of 2 yards. First down, Washington.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move him off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to...
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Carl Nassib in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. Corey Littleton gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 32-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Now it's Haskins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. From the gun, it's Haskins. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Haskins going to throw again. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, he'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10. Their own 22-yard line.
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what the result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And that's incomplete. Now, the intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
The 42-yard line.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
He's got his man. It's Williams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards. Better than 20 here. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Here's Jacobs. And the Raiders are going to have a first and goal. It's some good running there. Gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knocking on the door. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. He's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for us.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
First and 10. At their own.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
Ball carrier.
A gain of 3, second down.
On the tackle. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up second and 7. At the 40-yard line.
From the gun, Haskins will drop this down to Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
17 yards. First down.
These two teams all tied after 1.
End of the first quarter. With the score tied 7-7.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. And quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack, generate big plays for an offense.
It's third down.
Operating from the gun, Haskins, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
41.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Josh Jacobs.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That What a first down pickup of 8.
The 49-yard line.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Throwing deep for Stewart. And this is caught. That one good for 37 yards.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
Throwing now is Carr. That is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his second touchdown on the season, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Listen, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
19 yards there on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Haskins. That little slant to McLaurin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down.
First down, Washington.
From the gun, Haskins. They'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. That catch good for only a couple.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Washington on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Coleman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Yards on the play.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the kick.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And Gold is able to put it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, it's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Room to run at the 50. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And his kick is good. And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Washington takes over 1st and 10.
Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
He's brought down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Coleman. Get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good for a Washington 1st down.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line, because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Malik Collins forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this 1st half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Well, there was a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. The throw complete here to Williams. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Daniel following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Take over first and 10.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From midfield now, Haskins. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Incomplete. It's third down and 3 yards to go.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Final play of the half, it's Haskins. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, and that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The Jags needing to hold on and win this one on the road to avoid falling to 0-2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. 23-17, the final score. In our game has been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. They juked him. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
Again, helping partner, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A spectacular return of 96 yards. Great blocking in front of him on special teams as well as he takes it to the end zone.
Las Vegas.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
On the return. Washington takes over 1st and 10.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
It's so tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And it's third down.
Third down, here's Coleman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll move the chains.
And the Washington first down.
Now Haskins on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Haskins. And yet again, Haskins is intercepted. 3rd time. Picked off by Sidney Jones. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
At the 43-yard line.
Jacobs now. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Josh Jacobs.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. Linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepared for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company, and he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video on those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Coleman has it here right side. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 32-yard line.
From the gun, Haskins. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
And it's 3rd down.
Operating from the gun. Haskins. Open man is Sims. Haskins, he's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Coleman now. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Haskins will throw. And drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And 8 yards.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. From the gun, Haskins firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
26-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Tevin Coleman. His first touchdown of the new season. And Washington able to cut into that deficit.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Shy of midfield. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. Defense really kept him in check running the football in the first half. Maybe that'll be a spark for him here in half 2.
So 2 words come to mind for me. Resilient, because he has to keep bouncing back after some limiting runs, and have that relentless. Keep going, knowing that you may pop one, as he just did there.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They run the option on second down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. From the gun, it's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. 23. A Raider first down, Carter Renfro. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Lets this go for Renfro downfield. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
And the Washington first down.
Here's Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On second down now, it's Coleman. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
No gain on the play.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Brings up fourth down.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game.
And take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. There aren't any speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. Well, the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
On the return, Washington takes over first and 10 at their own 27.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if something like that, we have the casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Incomplete. It's Second down and 10.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. Well, there's that man again. It's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take what you can get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And his throw is incomplete. He's trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Haskins back to the air. And that will be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. He's at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Las Vegas.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And he's able to put it through. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Washington will take over 1st and 10.
And the Washington offense set to take over again. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Washington 1st down.
From the gun, it's Haskins. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
1st down, Washington.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Washington 1st down.
Here's Coleman on the draw. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball a 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Number 24.
A 5-yard touchdown. And Washington able to strike for 6.
Lining up for the point after.
See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it with Jacobs. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snaps, and they're there, and they end up making the play.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Washington offense back out there. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage. And the Raiders have got him. Maurice Hurst Gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Jacobs. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Sean Dion Hamilton was there to bring him down defensively.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
1st and 10 at their own.
And the Washington offense going back to work. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage there by Trayvon Mullen.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. One final shot for Haskins. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
Raiders 59.
Big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Las Vegas, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.